Hey guys, it's Starting coming at you with another game of Total Warhammer 3. We're here with Skrag, the Slaughterer again. Our first Ogre campaign is going super well. We haven't got a short victory yet because we haven't done this quest battle. So I think we're going to do it right now. We're going to need to pop Talabheim afterward, but we can just, do it in a turn or so. So just a short little thing of what's going on. We're fighting Vlad up here in the north. He is getting smashed. We were fighting Moors in the south. He still has 24 settlements, but so how that's gone is he came up here and bushwhacked Karazakarak. We followed up, took the lands back, gave it back to Karazakarak, and carved it down here. So, I mean, it's still been going fine, is what I mean. We've, we're taking these primary settlements. We're about to try to, pop in here, grab Crack 8 Peaks. Not that we could hold it, but, it would be quite a wound onto old Queek. But first, we need to win this battle. Now, it is at Karazakarak. They do have a caster, but the thing about the Plague Priest, they have the Vermintide and, Breath. Because Skaven magic, for all that it's really annoying, isn't that good against Ogres, right? Because the Warp Lightning, they don't have as many good targets. So we're just going to get to it. Hey there, Luke. Say words with them always feel never-ending when they're short. Yeah, not being able to see their lands and armies, even with, some scouting. Not that we have it, but the AI that we are friends with. But I've got to figure that he has very, very few armies left in the field. He sent 2 up to our first camp, and we cracked them. And then got a 3rd army with that. This army, a 3rd one, and this will be a 4th one we've got up here. And then we rolled up 2 armies, including Queeks in the south. Alright, so here... Alright, how do we take the Karak? Oh, it made it a Skaven battle map. I'm like, this isn't Karazakarak. They already redecorated. Alright, well, the Skaven one we know. You just try to get in, and then we can bust in. So, although there's a whole bunch of units here, we are going to try to just crack in the door. Now, we don't want to be taking too much free damage. These towers on this side are pretty good against us. If we just put the eagles here, we can fly over this way, though, and this tower won't even hit here. And that'll annoy them some. Hey, Kemi. This is still the Ogre build? Yes, indeed. This is like our tertiary army. They are not as good as the other ones, but hopefully they'll still be able to make it work. I'm like, no, all this is stupid. What am I doing? Let's just get in there, right? That sounds dumb, but it also sounds like it'll work, doesn't it? It does. Does this guy have heals yet? No, he does not. Well, that's too bad. We can just crack the wall and run in, right? And Skaven towers are actually, kind of good at being towers. Alright, we have induced them to put, all of their stuff over here, so we're just gonna bounce. I mean, not all of it, but it's a lot. And accordingly, We are just going to bust this wall, actually. They don't even have the guys on the towers here. This is pretty excellent all around. Yeah, because if we could just get inside, then from there, they don't really have very many good force multiplying things. I'm not, like, worried about the siege as such. It just will be annoying. But this rotation will be nice, and we'll at least tank their vigor if they want to move half of their troops all the way across the map. Whereas the birds don't really matter. And they are getting a summon right here. Yeah. And we will crack the door. It will break the whole gate. You know, and then we'll just walk right in, right? You know, probably cracking a wall would have been even better. But I don't... You know, I don't figure they're going to stand up to this onslaught too much. Because the bulk of their forces are so far away. This is a really big map, right? And by the time they realize that we have done a big smart thing... Hit him with the cauldron, jump in, and jump in again. Can't believe their leadership isn't upset from that, but I guess maybe they held on to a bunch of models somehow. And now, you know, they're going to have their fellows coming inside. It's not going to be enough. Rattling guns repositioning there. They don't have any ranged here on this side, so we're going to be all the way inside of the cookie jar here. They clan rat summon inside of the entryway there, which actually isn't bad, but it's just kind of funny though. The rattling gun, because of course the line of sight here is trash, ends up not being too helpful. We need to get our Heavens Caster up, because this is going to be a great little bowling alley for a chain lightning. Unless we fail to cast it on time, in which case... You know, they did get one volley off these rattling guns. Alright. You know, if the Storm Vermin halberds are coming in, this is still a good target for it. And actually better than it was before. Awesome. They run right into it. This is a really good place for a Vortex spell, right? Though I say so myself. Anywhere where you can be assured that you're going to get all the value that you're looking for is pretty nice. And we're just going to bust in here and here. Try to get away here because, oh yeah, we've got the Chieftain here. You know what matches up good with the Chieftain, though, is a Giant. And we're going to throw some bolts into him and get the lead belchers here to fire. Oh my goodness, he's getting trucked on. He is not as tanky as I hoped he was. But the lead belchers are online, and Giant's taking some damage, but it's worth it. It's just from some crummy little slingers here. Oh my goodness, he is getting so beat down. Oh, Night Runners, that's what's getting him. Jeez, alright, and we don't even have our capture weight on here. Very, very poor. All these guys just sitting there letting the bosses do all the work. Man, oh man. We've got multiple storm vermin coming in here. And that's a lightning bolt, which will maybe hit clan rats and maybe some rallying guns. It was a bad cast, right? I shouldn't have done it. What are you gonna do? Oh my goodness, wow. They got another clan rat summon back there. How many do they have? Probably like 8. But at least we've got our Overwatch fire from the Lead Belchers now. Not those, though. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. The Giant gets pulled in there. This is pretty bad. We want to support him, but I don't know how. But fortunately, we've crumbled this whole block here, right? And this dude is on his little mobility scooter. We're gonna try to get him in here and then just charge this way into a whole bunch of spears. Yeah. Did the Giant get out or did the Giant die? The Giant is still here fighting rat ogres. You know, it's not the worst thing he could be fighting. Please turn around and shoot. Please turn around and shoot. So bad at this game. Frontal charge into clan rat spears. You know, let's get the ogre charge off first. Even though they're braced, even though you get charge reflection, it's still worth charging, right? We might be losing this. I can't tell. Alright, the birds. We're gonna be able to dive on the catapults. That'll at least be something. Oh, this tower here is... No, it's... Like, what looks like they're poisoning me. Yeah, the Skaven are not delicious. That's pretty established, I think. Anyway, this is a very, very sketchy thing we're doing here, and I fully expect to lose this battle. And frankly, I deserve to. We're playing very poorly. Just very, very poorly. Fortunately, it looks like they're about as good at playing Skaven as I am, which is to say, not at all. These guys have 0 melee attack and stuff. I'm not gonna pretend to understand what's going on there. Oh, it's because they're the shadow ones, and I'm stupid. But, I mean, we might be fine, because they don't have anything to deal with the Iron Guts, right? They don't have anything to deal with most of our tools here. It's just that they still have a bunch of stuff left, and I'm very dumb. We're fighting the Eshin Triads with large units, because I am a fool. And these guys are just hanging out because I decided that our fast-flanking flying creature shouldn't be engaged in the battle at all. We're going to fly them over the top of it, and it'll be fine. They're going to army loss soon, right? It won't matter that I play like a chump, because they're Skaven and they're not coming back. We're going to put the region on the giant. He's got the biggest hit point pool, so it's the most bang for the buck there, and he's also better fighting than the bruisers and stuff are at this point. He wouldn't have got so beat up if we didn't leave him unsupported, but, you know, we've got it now. We're sewing it up now. After all, for all that they had big unit numbers here, we know that they don't have, like, any great units, you know, beyond the basic, you know, here's my catapult thing. A catapult is very great, but it can't do everything. But now the lead belchers actually get to fire a bit, and we get shot by a tower a little bit, but not for too much longer. And they're probably going to army loss soon, I imagine. The sight of the blood vultures overhead is going to terrify them, right? Speaking of the blood vultures, hopefully they're going to earn their keep here, because the Eshin Triads are a unit against which we don't have any good counterplay in our army. Birds aren't good counterplay either, but they will, you know, stick up everything. I guess we just use a dismember on it. Eshin Triads are unbreakable. Big headaches. Oh my goodness. And we run right into a bunch of spears. That's hardly going around to cap the front, but the good news is that these are just regular spears at this point, and the hunter will be there behind to flank in with this glorious charge. Oh yeah. Shaking the club in the air. That's the Highland way. I thought they were unbreakable. They are certainly broken. Well, the birds show up, get some kills, and don't do anything worth. I think they're about to army loss, though. Because we'll just attack the Storm Vermin Halberds with 3 units of Blood Vultures in what is sure to be regarded in the future as a very pro move. Look, it's gonna work. It's just gonna work because there's 3 of them and we used a dismember. It also might not work now that the charge is gone. The Plague Monks are already popped. They got killed in this brawl in here. Alright. You thought Plague Monks were unbreakable. Ah, okay. Now I'm seeing the previous message. Yes. Well, you know, a very great battle. Obviously, regular Ogre Bulls, if Iron Guts, would be a ton better. You know, the armor piercing for when it matters. But, you know, we all availed ourselves well. The Heavens Caster with 400 kills. You know, the Mawcaster at the top. You know, he's going blue. He's going blue line, okay? He's going blue line. We're going to be fighting Grimgore before too long. But importantly, we do pop all of those lords and heroes. We do get regen on him and lightning strike. You know, let's wait to level up to the end of the turn, because we're about to do a Skrag battle. Speaking of, let's save this. Now, our Skrag army obviously is about to start suffering assassination problems. However, all we've got to do is get rid of Vlad. I think we just do the quest battle now because off the back of it we go and popped Victor von Schwarzhofen. Now, this is not like a good army, what I would consider a good army for a quest battle where you expect a lot of surprises. With 5 lead belchers, you know, it's going to be maybe hard to defend them against surprises. However, I'm sure we'll manage. We're level 46, so if we don't do it pretty soon, you know, we'll have gotten to max level without doing our quest battle, which is available at level 10. And actually, it's just heartbreaking I didn't have the whole time because it makes Gorgers have regen map wide. Anyway, I love me some Gorgers. Let's get to it. Oh, it's against Skaven. My favorite. Now, our gyro bombers are likely to be of incredibly high utility in this quest battle. By the way, gyro bombers, a very classy inclusion in the ogre armies. For my money, they do a good job that the ogre army wasn't specifically doing, you know? They're like the lead belchers of the sky. Don't tell the Dawi I said that. So I was like, well, we could get their artillery, but with an iron blaster, although it's not as good artillery as some, you know, it's fine. Wait, no, not here, Ratty Ratties. Like, what? No, we're in between 2 of their armies. Oh, no. And I have 5 lead belchers. Oh, no. It's a rat trap. I ain't trapped in here with them. Is he gonna do the Watchman line? The unfortunate thing about the dialogue in quest battles is that it's the same slider as the units talking to you when you click on them, and I am not hearing them say Zug Zug 1,000 times. Yes, they're trapped in here with me. So we're supposed to beat a couple of these guys. Alright. How best to do it? Well, if we go to the guy that has the warp lightning cannons, then the guy with the warp lightning cannons will be taken care of. Alright, let's get to it. Start pumping. Oh, Skrag is all the way over here. Whoops, daisy. Start pumping Gorger summons here. I think this whole army is invisible. Get around behind him here and just totally bum rush the show here. Because that's the thing, is Lead Belcher's Hall, right? They move 50. So if these chumps, you know, thought that they were going to ambush us, we'll just move right over here. Speaking of things we'll do right over here, it's time for a bombing run. Alright, these saber tusks are getting melted. And we need to get somebody on these poison wind globes before our blob gets punished a little bit there. And just move forward. Skrag can drop off these fools here. Drink up baby. Hit our feasting frenzy. And then get the gutsman on this guy. The thing is that we know that our character squad is incredibly punchy. Oh yeah, the Sabertusk summon. Go ahead and get them. And then, you know, we've just got our air support here, you know, doing Overwatch fire from the sky, the Warp Lightning Cannons. And we'll just move our whole Lead Belcher line to this side of their crew and set up shop there. Skrag's having a party there, and that's a Gorger summon, which held the back line so bravely. Beautiful stuff. Lead Belchers to counter there, and then these Storm Vermin won't be long for this world. And of course, Gyro Bombers are so good at dealing with fleeing units, you know. They, these Rat Ogres might want to come back, you know, but like it's just so easy to get the fire on them as they're trying to flee, burn them all down. But, you know, we know this army is very punchy. It's not as good as it could be even, right? Because we still have like an Ogre Bull Iron Fist, and you could totally get like a tier 5 Ogre with Iron Fists, but we're just gonna pop this guy. Meat for the Cauldron, meat for the Great Maw. That's an ominous war cry. But with good faction sources of restock, I love a Gyro Bomber in this army. Because it gives you a layer to engage with flying skirmishers or flying punchers, you know. You have your first layer with the Hunter up front. Second layer used to be like Lead Belchers. You have the Iron Blaster, but that one hardly counts. But now you can have your Gyro Bombers second layer engage, skirmish back, and then draw them into the Lead Belcher fire. And if they try to reposition, Gyro Bombers, I mean, you know, you can punish a whole elite infantry stack. And I will say that maybe my favorite thing about Ogres so far is how tremendously good they are at fighting against Skaven due to not having a lot of small units you care about at all. You know, you feel the pain when it's the other way around, right? When it's a bunch of spears and whatnot, and you're like, man, if only I had some small units to properly engage. But here, you know, we're getting hit by Plague Claw Catapults, and that's annoying. But it's not like a disaster. Which feels weird to say. Normally, that's one of the things in the game you want shooting you the least. They're really, really good for early tier units. This guy is so quick, and we're just going to keep on being quick and running. They've got a snare on me. They put a snare on me, but we're going to go in here. I'm like, oh, you wanted to get me? You've got me! He comes in swinging for a sweet 876 weapon strength. He's a brawler. He's a bruiser. Oh yeah, look at that. All on the ground, you little chump. Beautiful. And these guys get absolutely beat up, oh, by skirmisher fire. I'm like, what's happening? Skirmisher fire. A funny little quest battle, one where I feel like it's not too tough, right? Although the enemy's got like some interesting tools and stuff, because like if you just play like the ogres and charge across the map, the fact that you're surround, yeah, exactly. You know, 50 speed on a Lead Belcher, that's about as quick as Skaven are too. So, like, if you're moving and they're moving, it's going to take quite a while for them to catch you. And now we get the Cauldron of the Great Mob, which is super good, right? It's a very, very good ability and makes our Gorgers, you know, that'll give them map-wide healing. You know, we only have 2 units of them. I'm not convinced that the Sabertusk pack are good. I want them to be, though. I like them. They're very fast. And having one super quick, like, anti-flanking unit is good. You know, we just didn't use them well in that battle. It'll be alright. If we use the Iron Guts, they go there, but we need... Huh. Ogres only need 4 points in the first tree to get Rally, unlike everybody else is normalized at 6 now, right? Huh. Interesting. I guess we take this because, you know, we're going to want to get some of those units before too long. Yeah, alright, awesome. And then we're just going to move up here and take the auto, surely. Lose the Sabertusks in the process. Hard knock life. Take the money. You know, we've got 156. We're going to be able to sack Occupy. And they're taking the 10 grand as always, right? It's like, we've got... Allied recruitment. You know what would go real good in this army? Some Trollhammer torpedoes. No, it doesn't make sense. Iron Drakes, actually, though. But they're so much slower than the rest of the crew. Oh, stop. Okay. Clearly now I know. Why did I even think that we could do this? Like... Clearly now I know what the future is going to hold. Now I know. Because, look, the dwarves wouldn't want to be too close to the ogres, good allies as they were, but sending a small and competent Air Force contingent to assist. Now we could do that. Alright, and now into the turn. We know that we think there's no one here, because we assume everyone from Crack 8 Peaks came up here to get schwammered at the Black Iron Mine fight. However, this army is not great for sieges like the other one was not great for sieges, but we don't even have the Iron Guts here, right? It's, we don't have much of it, but the Hero Core is much stronger. Considerably stronger. Yeah, you know, we could probably just clear the blobs, because these guys, we've got the, get augment back for being engaged in melee. Yeah, this is a whole different dynamic. We'll be fine. And we're gonna give this other hunter. We just give him this, which will make his missiles. Well, just 25% AP more damage, but makes him shoot slower as well. Well, since he doesn't have the infinite ammo, maybe that's fine. Bruiser. In charge. Alright, so now the army to try to assist us come back over here, but we've got our time to get back. And we've got lightning strike as well if they end up having more, so... Oh, whom? Not our good one. No. No, wait. Those are the Alright, it must have been just some guy on the map. Alright, that's fine then. So I think you can put heroes into camps and take them back out. This will be a good time to learn, though. Skrag's army's 19 and 10. Yes, we lost the saber tusks on the auto, which is what led us to thinking maybe we'll get some dwarves. But well, there's also Reichland, but Hawkland long rifles. No, I mean. Obviously, like, grabbing a Hellstorm rocket battery would be the best. Do we want to sit still for a whole turn? I mean, it would give us a Hellstorm rocket battery. Yeah, we'll sit still a whole turn. You know, this is about living our dreams, right? Exactly. He technically wouldn't even really know this war with Skaven is happening. Like, as far as he knows, like, everything is just totally normal, and he's up here smashing Vlad and being a hero, and everyone's super proud of him.
Brag the Godsman.
Of course, fighting Vlad is so much easier when he actually gets wounded for several turns. Alright, and we're just going to hope that no one's here at Karakate Peaks and we can just waltz right in. That is not what happened. Oh my goodness. Alright, I think we've made a mistake. Can we even crack in here? No. Well, the good news is, if they come out and fight us, we'll definitely beat them. Yeah, you know, cause that is too many storm vermin with halberds to run my ogres into. But all they've got is a couple plague claw catapults. So if we can get them out, you know, we'll be able to shoot them up, hopefully. And this guy, ooh. Oh no. Well, that's pretty rough. That's pretty rough indeed.
Tyrant of the tribe.
I'm like, no, he is the camp tyrant. He can get it. And that only goes to the rank 7 ones. We can get Frenzy there at least. Take the speed. You know, it's fine. I mean, for all I know, we'll get the garrison here for another little boost of dudes, but...
Carve and grind. Meat.
Is it just gonna give us the auto? That is incredibly funny, if so.
Crush.
It is just gonna give us the auto. And we're gonna take it. Look, I could probably win. We do get Engineer's Knapsack. This is excellent. We'll get the Eshin Maneater. That's the assassin single entity thing. If we move for Pillars of Grungi, could there be an army here? Could it be a disaster? Yes and yes. But if we get away with it, we'll look smart. If they move in here due to movement, we'll probably be able to get away. And in any case, like, if we can get these lands back, then even if we can't help Thorgrim, but we might be able to. Like, what we have going on here might be Thorgrim's salvation, right? And I desperately want that to be so. Because we've already tried to give him all these lands once, but now he's holed up here. And importantly, that's the 4th army we've beat up here. It would have come from Iron Rock, probably. We're gonna build a better outpost there. Get our outposts improved. Clearly his AI level isn't the best this campaign. Well, he did have the problem of Gorbad plus Queek, and Queek's AI level is obviously pretty high. Is he gonna hit this camp? I mean, probably. If he does, what happens? I mean, we lose it? Yeah. We never recruited units into it, even though we could have. What are you gonna do? And I think we need to get another army here right away. This guy, you know, for all that they're... Oh, this would have been the guy that we confederated in the other one. I'm like, how is he starting that high? I still think Maw is the one to take, though. Cunning's super good, but the movement speed, I think you just can't ever not take the movement speed. Big melee defense is fine, and poison attack is really good, but, like, the movement range on campaign map, fine, but 20%, because, like, ogres, you just get a couple more things, and then before long, you're talking really fast. Here, rather than go down the blue line after Route Marcher, we're just going to actually... go red line and hope to be able to recruit some guys before long. Alright, so we're fighting Skaven principally. Do we need artillery at all? One piece to make them give battle if they don't have an artillery piece. But we could just... And frankly, I like this better. So we can afford to go pretty negative for a while. Fleet-footed fire breather, very nice. Butcher of Heavens is absolutely where we're going here, because Heavens is amazing against Skaven. Windblast does super good against the blobs. And you get play against other things as well. And then we're gonna... I mean, 30% character experience gain and those other ones are fine. We'll take it. And hopefully this army will have 2 turns to get up and running. We should have done this a turn or 2 ago. But the thing is because of this move over here, we'll assume that they'll move for Varenga Hills and Akendorf first. Because of the way that the Ogre buildings are, I assume that they don't appear to be that good of targets. You didn't want your expansion to force you south, and it still happened yet. Well, you know, I'm super happy that we've been able to ally with Zufbar and keep them safe. But due to their positioning here, with Ungrim still being okay, you know, I feel alright about it. Skrag might never head south, right? He might just go up here and fight. It'll be the great anti-Skaven campaign, and Skrag will barely be involved. He'll read about it in the Ogre newspapers. And he'll be like, we what? Oh, we won? Huh. I mean, we won. Alright, so hopefully they move out and attack us here. And if they don't, I guess we'll just underway over here and, like, pop some other army. Because this army now trying to come in, we do have the benefit of giving them attrition while they're hanging out. So that is beneficial. You question whether or not these theaters worth of good eats. You know, I assume all the food is bad. But there is a lot of it. You know, it's like going to a buffet, right? When the portion sizes are so good, you hardly want to complain about it being a little oversalted. Or in the case of the Skaven, a little... But if they moved a hero over here, that means they probably don't have another guy to come over here. And with this reinforcing army, with the camp, we can probably hold off whatever they've got going on these days. Skrag continues to get a missile launcher for reasons that are obvious. These guys did not come at us. They did have to... You know, the attrition losses are fine. And I guess, like, with this on, you could just, like, sort of be really annoying. But what we're going to go here is go into their heartland and start hearting it a little bit here. Crooked Fang's like the capital, right? What's the worst that could happen? You know, maybe we just stop this, go here, sweep up here, and create a front rather than having this be a guerrilla army. If I could have an ogre camp, it'd be one thing, but we don't have access to another one. I actually have one too many right now. But I figured we might as well get a lot of abilities on it, and then we can pack it up whenever we can actually deploy a third one. spending way too much money on infrastructure, but it'll pay off. It'll hopefully eventually pay off. This guy is about to get popped by Frederic. And Death Cheater Gorg has cheated death. We're going to move here to Squighorn. Oh my goodness. Well, we're going to do this fight for real, aren't we? We're very clearly not going to take that many losses. I mean, like, what? All of my guys? To whom? I guess the Rattling Guns, maybe the Storm Vermin Halberds. The thing is that we've got Lead Belchers, and they don't have artillery. So, I kind of like our chances against the Rattling Guns. Don't remember I said that if this goes badly. Maybe if the Skaven are very well washed, like you put them in a mountain stream for an extended period of time. You know, I doubt it. 'Cause as you've pointed out, even Skaven hardly want to eat them. Oh, big aquatic thing. Very good. Man, the ROR Noblar Trappers with the aquatic, I can't believe how cool they are. Alright, he got off of the ground. So he'll be able to just rampage eventually. Hopefully. And the Eshin Maneater is not a character, it's a single entity that you'd think would be a character. It's like a Maul Ninja guy. You know, he does the four sword style. And he's super quick, and he's got Strider and Fizz Resist. He's fine, you know. Weeping Blade armor. Oh, he has negative 50% armor on attack. Okay, that's better than fine. Alright, let's get to it. They use some magic. That's the thing about ogres, man. The Skaven magic, you don't have to care about it at all. We've got restock, not that we're going to be running out of ammo here. We do need to get into position to countercharge menaces below. Right now, we're going to see it. Where's it going to be? Right here in front of the Wizard Lord, eh? It's a bold strategy. See if it pays off for him. They do a very cunning breath attack, starting at the Lead Belchers, doing no damage at all. You know, you gotta love it when the enemy walks right into your plans. Alright, so they've got all the Rattling Guns centralized here. We hardly want to dive in just native when we consider that the Lead Belcher fire is going to be able to hit them from considerably further away. And they've got decent ammo, right? For their reload time, because they only shoot every 10 seconds or so. These clan rats are like a summon, and we are spending a bunch of ammo shooting them as they run, as they're shattered. But hey, it would take more effort to tell them not to do it. And of course, we've already got like our negative terror and all of that stuff going on, so we pop this one as well, and before long they'll be moving into the fire. And we're gonna cauldron like right here, because that's just so many dudes. and the rumbling outside is the weather. Don't worry about it if my computer spontaneously turns off and I don't say bye. It is because the electricity has suddenly, and yet predictably, disappeared. Yeah, and we're just gonna punch up the middle here, just in total aggression, right? Severe disruption enemy formations. Yeah, we're just gonna go for it. Because if we can keep them back just a little bit, and we probably can. Whoops. Man, I clicked the wrong button there. Alright, what we're going to do here is drop this chain lightning. And it's going to obliterate the blob. Are you going to cast or what? There we go. The Rattling Gunners are, unfortunately, you know, we didn't get to them. And we end up taking a bunch of damage on our guy. But we pierce through anyway, and that's what we have to do, right? We got in there. Lead Belchers in the front still doing fine. It's time to get our forces off the top of the hill, down to the bottom of the hill. We'll mark him for eating. Disrupt that formation so that we can charge in here and here. And dive the center. Cut off the Lead Belchers there. No ability to counter flank on this side. And we shoot him up, shoot him up, shoot him up, shoot him. Plague Monks fight in a giant. Hardly what they want to be doing. Hardly. The giant with 121 leadership? What? Explain. They have a base value of 100 leadership? They have a base value of 100 leadership? Explain. Tech, maybe. You would think that they would be, like, unbreakable rather than set to 100. I'm going to have to check the tree. We did take the monster tree, like, all the way to the end almost. So, which I regret nothing, right? The fact that the bulk of our army is going to be the armored ogre is totally irrelevant.
It is the Boar's house. Slaughtermaster.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Because it's not like, you know, that's not a green bar either, right? That's not from... He's just like straight up is 100? That can't be right. Like, giant, that can't be right. That's bonkers. There's no way. It can't be right. I'm declaring it to have not been possible to be right. Oh. Slaughtermasters get poison attacks anyway, so we should definitely be... Alright, we need Renowned and Feared here. This guy gets to be immortal.
Ogre Hunter.
Savage Predators roaming free. This secondary army is just now, like, now it's getting turned all the way on, you know. Now its hunter has a stone horn. Now, you know, it's got the punchy stuff. Oh, this is the third army, and its guy got to level... You know, we've been fighting a lot with him, I guess. So, yeah, well, we've got the stone horn here now. Sweet. And, yeah, you know, it just goes to show how good Mentor can be. Thorgrim is now spinning up a second stack. Cazador of Zorn. Very, very nice, very dwarfy name there. And we'll, you know, we'll meet in the middle here, and then... That's much better than continuing to go further into his lands, although being able to take the Karak would have been good. This is good, too. Also, if Queek gets the border with Grimgor... Who's Grimgor fighting right now? Oh, okay. Grimgor is strength rank 1 and is fighting every Chaos Dwarf. That's awesome. Love it. I mean... Yikes, but that's awesome. I love it. You know, how thematic, right? Because Grimgor does hate them just so much. And it's nice to see him letting the hate flow through him. Carricksorn, isn't that like the actual name of the... Yeah, that's the actual name of Thoric's settlement. Because he found it or whatever, right? Yeah. I was like, that's the name of it because it's got like the mythical Longbeard Hall and all of that. Man, when I tell you I loved that Thoric campaign when it came out. Of course, it pales comparison to Malachi. Anyway, what were we doing? We're probably ending the turn. The most wonderful turn. We're going to lose this camp soon. That is okay. I'll immediately get over it. And we just need to build up Grenzot. These kiln places, these are probably the most important map, like, things on the whole map. These pottery mountain kilns. Because each one of them at tier 3 gets you +1 camp limit, which is extraordinary. That's just super good. And if I had appreciated that earlier in the game, I absolutely would have captured Myrmidons before I elected to let the war go. All right. So we can take High Place, and then we can give... We can give it all back to Thorgrim. We can give it all back to Thorgrim. If we can. And if we can, we will. Because even if his AI makes him a little bit of a chump, he's still the High King, and he deserves to live in Karazakarak. Morning, Neom. We don't have too much longer to play, sadly, but I'm glad to see you. Hey, Lewin, of course I'll trade with you. You know why? Because you're offering me money. And I love money. It's almost as good as meat. No, not Fert the Hunter. Fert was wounded by Garrett.
This won't work.
I'm like, yeah, that's an assassin. They're really good at this, and I'm not.
Make sure I don't die, right?
Alright, so they have... You can get Thunder Tusks, which have 3-round recruitment, Chilling Aura, 200 range, explosive, frostbite missiles with magic attacks. Yikes. And then Stonehorns with harpoon launchers, which I never see anyone take, but, you know, this is just the answer to the Stegodon, I guess. 3-round recruitment. But, you know, since we've got time here...
I am the tenderizer.
Well, you know, I bet that just shows that this guy needs some in his army. You know, if he's just going to be standing here, you know.
I'll make a boat soup of you. We rest, we feast.
And what better to go with this ogre army than a couple of nice land ships? So that's what we'll get. A couple of nice land ships to fight the Skaven with. This is the most fun campaign ever. This army's going to be super expensive, but this is my face when I don't care. I mean, it's not so bad for a defensive army because we got to camp around. It is going to be expensive, though, if we move out of the sphere. But hey, we've got money. We have some money. We have 82 grand. That's 70 turns of money. That's plenty of money. It isn't. Alright, Skrag's online. We got an Iron Blaster. We've got a Hellstorm Rocket Battery. This army is hysterical. Could not possibly be happier with it. Do we try to move here for Freddy? Well, he actually is having a bad time anyway. Maybe... You know, if we move this way, maybe he'll just move this way too. Yeah, this will be the end of Vlad very soon.
Welcome to my throne. All right.
But we complete the gap over there to Ungrim, and, you know, we'll be able to get a little bit of money out of it, and then move up here towards Carrick Drone before too long, take Iron Rock. And the thing is we know the Skaven here don't have that much, like, ability to do anything about us. We don't want to get rid of this, though, because armor for all armies is, like, so good, and I want to hold on to it. King Khazor would be a fun addition. It would be. He could be this tall. Morning, Kiara. You've caught us almost at the end. We have just a bit longer to play. Because it is... Yeah. Still raining, so I imagine the morning take the dog outside will be, you know, a longer process than usual. That's the sort of thing. That we sometimes have to do. Gorbud's Mork's Chosen. What's he doing up there? And this army is just a couple of fights away from immortality for its heroes. Unlike this army up here, which has fought like as many times. But, you know, the Siege of Karazakarak, I think they got a lot of XP for that, too. But with Belagar coming into the lands here, and look at him, you know, he's eyeing everything else that's going on as well. Well, Froggy, you know, that is... I'm sorry to hear that, but not too sympathetic. After all, the unsympathetic way of saying it is you get what you pay for. But I know that feeling all too well. Although not in quite some time now. Alright, so I'm boss and that's that. Queek is here. And I am plagued. Thorgrim's moving to Caragdron. If he moves here to Black Crag, he might be able to burn it down, but actually, with all of these dwarves here, he might be fine. If we just move to Barag Jawazbag, Queek can't get there in a turn. So what's Ungrim dealing with right now? Ungrim is dealing with the war with the Northern Alliance plus... yeah, plus Throt. The Northern Chaos Alliance plus Throt. A typical problem. Frederick is still, like, sitting there raiding. You know, good for him. It might be that... it's told him he's going to lose if he attacks, but he doesn't know how not to attack. Because the thing is with Belagar's armies, this pincer, this is going so good. Because Queek still has like 18. So he's lost like six settlements pretty recently. And we're going to sweep up here. And then he's going to be clamped down here with Grimgor as a neighbor, right? So... So then Grimgor can feast on him. Great. Now, the good news is you got to figure Grimgor's already level 50 at this point anyway. But with the Skaven Plague on this army, it's really screwed, and we just have to try to get out and not infect anybody else. Plagues are super bad news. So you can't heal any of your units, so it's more than a little bad. It's all the way bad. You really hate this guy when Plague's useless on the AI devastating player. Exactly. That's the thing about attrition, though, is... you know, I've been told that they're so bad at making the game... I'm being cruel. That it's very difficult to make attrition meaningful in a way that won't just totally destroy the AI. Like, the AI will never be smart enough to deal with it, basically. Okay, so that's what happened. He was raiding, he was too weak to win the auto, then we took the last land, so he gets forced into it, shame, and that is the end of Vlad von Karstein. Or rather, almost the end. He's still got some stuff. Here we go. Everyone's hangry. We will give them a hearty brunch. Although I guess we could have gone over there. Because we're not at war with Throt right now. Do we want to start being? It would take so long for Skrag to get down here. And honestly, everyone there is already having a party. And Skrag against the chaos and stuff feels like that would be more meaningful anyway. Do we just start the brawl? Oh, we still got the Icket Claw problem. That's right, we've got more than one Skaven problem. I guess we don't start the brawl then. We're just going to come up here and pop the Fecundites real quick, though. Because I think they just have this one place. Yeah. So we'll just get rid of them. We'll join the war against them, eliminate the faction real quick. You know, I forgot all about Icket Claw being there, but there he is, you know, right there, angling for Elspeth, who has an army. I guess Durthu isn't at war with Icket Claw, the coward. Oh man, the time, the time. Shame. Well, we'll go here. And then this will, if we spread the plague to somebody, it'll spread it to the orcs here. And if we don't, then that's fine too. We're about to be upside down pretty far on money, but we also have some battles to do. Clearly, Moors, you know, is seeing that we don't have too much up here, but this army will be online. And honestly, a little bit more Leadbelcher could be called for. Hey, look at that. We helped. Which is just why we went there. This is what we wanted Thorgrim to do, you know, take charge of his own agency.
To the Dowie.
We'll let Thorgrim keep his money. There's about to be a rebellion here, but that's all right.
Sign the...
And just like that, we've given him all of his lands. Again, maybe this time it'll be a little easier to hold on to him. Yeah, if we can just, you know, help him hold on to it, that's the only thing we gotta really worry about. Black Crag got plagued. That is indeed unfortunate. But if we've got Belegar swooping in here, this is just very excellent. I wonder if the minor Skaven faction is still here. I doubt it. Yeah, because now we'll have the third army, which doesn't have, you know, the hero corps because they keep getting assassinated by this block here. Which, honestly, maybe that's going to be the role of this camp, is to constantly recruit heroes and get them assassinated.
Bruiser! Bruiser! Master of awful. No ogre can beat me. Led by the Moor. Against council orders.
This army is just sure to be fun, right? Thunder Tusks, land ships, crushers with great weapons. It's sure to be fun. But I gotta look at the clock. Okay, we really gotta figure out a stopping place. Do I even have time to do a battle if we get one? The answer is no.
Put your feet up.
3 more turns here, but at least we found, like, a place to stand where we'll probably be safe-ish for a little bit. And obviously, old Thorgrim will lose these lands again, but that doesn't mean he'll lose the Karak again, right? We've got this army here that's going to be able to support him. And if we just move like so, this army with Death Cheater, he can fight... Oh yeah. Sweet. This dude gets immortality. Wonderful. This army, even though it doesn't have, like, the armored, punchy guys, can still fight something. That army looks like it's going to be pretty rough. That army looks like it's going to be really rough. We know that warlord. We fought him before. If we just move up here, though, this might be able to intimidate some of their movement. And then those 3 guys will be able to move around. But all right, well, actually, a wonderful video where we achieved a lot of our objectives, right? And we're gonna go in here and murk the Jaeger Bubonicus. And that's gonna be good. We're gonna join the war so that we avoid entangling ourselves in their problems. And then, of course, like, there's all these issues going on up here. But with Vlad out of the picture, and Gorbad gone, and Queek honestly on a bit of a back foot, right? I mean, we stopped doing work against his faction, but we've just trimmed him by like 10 settlements in a few turns. He's going to take some of them back, but now with Belegar getting a foothold over here, and more of our armies up at the top, because if we just send down a couple, we don't have another camp though. Because if we had a camp to sit down, then we'd be talking. But as it is, you know, Grinzot is just gradually building up And in like, 6 or 7, 10 turns, we'll be able to have another one. But anyway, that's all I've got for you right now. Negative 4K, but with 90 in the bank. Of course, Skrag's army is just bleeding cash right now, but as soon as we start getting into some battles, especially if we can do it around an ogre camp, we're going to make a lot of money. Really loving this campaign, honestly. A lot of the things that are frustrating about, like, later tier armies where, the warp lightning spam and stuff, the ogres just dodge all of these problems by virtue of being large, which of course gives them other issues. You can shoot them, you can stab them with spears, etc., but still very nice. And honestly, having a great time. Skrag himself, what a cool character. I mean, grotesque, but what a cool character. Super strong. I haven't even been playing to the full potential of, his abilities. If we had gotten that item early on, we could just have like 10 Gorgers in this army and be smashing, I tell you. But anyway, excited for where this one goes. All we got to do is go a bunch of different places and we'll get the long victory. It's already assured. We could just take all of our armies in a straight line and sack our way to win. But we're going to keep on playing, This war against Queek, the war against Dickett, it's fascinating stuff. And Ogres against Skaven is a great matchup because not everything they have is good against us, but everything we have is vulnerable against them, but not to the magic, not to the play claw catapults. So it's so different than playing against Skaven with like dwarves, which is my most played against Skaven faction, right? Where you don't have the movement choices to deal with them, but now I do, and it's not so bad. But anyway, that's all I've got right now. Sure wish I could play for like 5 more hours, but zug, gotta go to work, gotta have a job. So, peace. See you, Luke. Later, Kiara. Hope you get to feeling better. And you are correct, you have to live a little. We all do. I recommend living a little. Not too much. You don't want to live too much. It's up to all of us to figure out what the amount is, I suppose. But see you guys, and I'll be back later on today sometime. 12 hours probably, but, who knows? Maybe slightly sooner. Maybe I'll see you then.